Breakfast with Amy. I am Amy at Wise Monkey Quilting in Denison, Iowa, and you can find me here almost every Friday morning doing a quick and easy project you can do for yourself. And then don't forget to watch us 5 days a week, Randy and I, throughout the week on our Facebook page, or you can download our free app to your phone or tablet and shop with us anytime. So is anyone joining us this morning?
We do have several here already.
Excellent.
Starting off, we have Stacy and Bonnie, Sharon and Karen, Rhonda, Roxy, Lois, Brenda.
Good morning.
Jane. I had the feeling this morning, Jane's from South Mississippi. I'm thinking it might be a little more balmy in South Mississippi today than it is in Western Iowa.
30 degrees in here.
Yeah.
What is the temperature outside?
I think it may have got down to right about freezing is what it looked like. So.
My phone says currently it is 34.
I think it's getting warmer because it's
The
starting to
clouds are coming
yeah.
in.
Hi, Cindy, Carol, Deb, good morning, Heather, April, Diane, checking in from Nebraska, Sharon and Karen, Steve, says good morning one and all to our official greeter.
Good morning.
Pam, our official waver. Donna, Debbie, Janice and Jerry, Audrey, Maggie, Carol, Brenda, Jeannie, Sherry, Connie, Donna. Hubby is driving to Maine so we can shop hop. Well, good job.
Oh, fun. Don't you love it when the husbands can take you shopping and they're willing to do whatever you want.
And Lori's down at Quilt Retreat in Ankeny this morning, so turn your phone up loud, Lori, so everybody can hear.
And have fun.
Yes, and Lori, or Carla, I'm sorry, Audrey, Vicky, set my alarm, so hello. Well, good morning.
Thank you for doing that.
Karen and Sherry says good morning, and Burr.
A little chilly. It's great sewing weather. Stay inside and sew until it gets a beautiful afternoon, and then you can go for a walk.
Maggie says it was too early. She meant to say good morning, so.
That's okay.
And Jane says it's only 51 there, so
I wouldn't call a little chilly.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that balmy.
That's put on a sweatshirt when you go outside.
Hi, Phyllis, April, Linda. It's 26 there, wherever Linda is. So
she's colder than we are.
Yes, she is. Hi, Nancy and Cheryl, Cindy up in Minneapolis.
Just a few weeks ago, we were complaining that it was hot. Now we're complaining that it's cold. Just never happy, are we?
Tell Luz hello also, and we can't wait to see you guys here in a couple months. Maybe not even that.
No, I'm not. I don't remember right off.
And Connie, Debbie, Marge, and Kelly. And I am caught up with everything as of now until Catherine popped in. So good morning, Catherine.
Well, good morning. So this morning it's a really simple project, but you can make it so much more. So it's a trivet, and I think like this one, I think it looks like a poinsettia. You can make one. It's, this time of year, you're getting ready for the holidays. Maybe you're going to have people over to entertain, and you always want to put out, some new stuff to make your house look nice. But you don't want to take a lot of time, because there's so many other things to do this time of year. So you can do these multiple ways. You can just make one, and you can put it on a table. It does work. Like here, I can put my pop on it, so you could use it as a coaster or whatever you want. You could leave the button off, put another backing on it with maybe some Insul Bright, use it as a trivet for a hot dish. You can sew 3 together, and when I make the other one this morning, you'll see how 3 together makes a really cute little table topper. You could put them together with 3 like this and have a little table runner. It's kind of a 3D holiday effect. So there's so many things you can do. Quick and easy. I'm going to show you how easy they go together this morning. And then give you some other color options because you know what? They would look good all year long. More people joining us, or are we good to go
Vic,
through
we got
stuff?
the weather report from Anoka, Minnesota, 27 right there right now.
Oh my.
Hi, Becky, and April. So
Hello, and I see we have the weather is getting cooler outside, so we have a fly inside now. So he's staring at me, and I'll keep going even though he's staring at me.
we have a costume update. 2.5 costumes done.
Good job, Peg.
Good morning, Sharon and Deborah. It says it's 46 in South Carolina, so it's not balmy there this morning
it's
either.
chilly everywhere, isn't it? Well, it is that time of year, and we'll wait a while, you know, and things will get colder or warmer.
All right, Kathy.
All right, so I do have some different fabric options. This one is the fabric that I made this, and I really do think it looks like a poinsettia. So what you get with the fabric option is about a little over 3/8 of a yard from each one. So between the two, they equal about 7/8 of a yard for $12.99. I'm calling this one red. It's got a red grunge. You know, we all love grunge. Grunge is one of those fabrics that it's got just a little bit going on when you look at it. There's maybe different colors in there. And then this one is looks like a white crackled background, but you have pine needles and you have pine cones and the red berries, and then and then there's some little bit of blueberries too. So I thought that was a really fun, not scream in your face Christmas, but when you put it paired with the red grunge, it's just so pretty. So $12.99, sold 100 red, which was this one. Then maybe you need something elegant, maybe really not for Christmas, but for maybe New Year's, or so I found this beautiful. It's kind of a gold shimmer with a black and gold. So you get between the two about 7/8 of a yard of these fabrics, sold 100 gold.
Good morning, Colleen.
Then the one I'm going to be doing this morning is a brand new line we actually got in, and you're going to be seeing this fabric probably in maybe quilt, maybe in table runners, but we're going to be bringing you more of this. A really pretty, and it's not really a holiday one. It is a green leaves with maybe a raspberry or just a flower. I'm not really sure what that is supposed to be, with a black background, and then black fabric that has a little tiny, maybe they're supposed to be little flowers on there, or I don't know for sure what it's, but it's white. Randy's trying to see. Maybe it's like lightning bugs. I don't know. This is the one I'm doing this morning. So I'm calling this sold 100 green. And then, you know, I want to get you through this cold weather, thinking about spring is only a few months away. So maybe you need a Valentine's one. So we are starting to get our Valentine's fabric in. So this really pretty, it's a black background with the red and pink hearts, and then a white background with the smaller red and pink hearts. So I'm calling this sold 100 hearts. So a great little Valentine's project if you want to do it that way. So those are our colorways for this morning. What I used to make this is a 4.5 inch Hexi template. Simple to use. When Randy does these, he always puts the hole so you can hang it, tells the size it is. And then a great reference. It has our name and phone number on it, and it will be personalized with whatever name is on your account, unless you state otherwise in your notes. And then you can do the 4.5-inch Hexi, $8.99, and this one is sold $101.
And we can make those left-handed also.
Ooh, what would they look like left-handed? And then, you know, I love buttons. Like this one, I did a big black button in the middle.
Going back to that before you on that.
Oh, for the Hexi?
Beans, we're talking about personalized rulers. We have a lot of different rulers in our library. You can go back in our comments sold. And if they do have the markings on, they can be also personalized and or made right or left-handed.
So all you have to do is put it in your cart. When you check out, just in your notes at the end, it's put left-handed, and then Randy will do that for you. It's easy for us to do because we make these in-house. We can do any of that. Also, just to put it out there, if you have a pattern that you're working on that has templates, Randy can do the templates for you. For your specific pattern that you're doing.
And Catherine says, Tatum says, poor Randy is holding the camera. I think I like Tatum. It's not so bad, Tatum. We're okay. We're actually on a tripod, so I don't have to hold it.
Right. Because if you was holding it, it may not stay perfectly still the whole time. So, like I was saying, I have a big black button on the center of this. These nice, they're called licorice. It is the basic buttons. There are great big black buttons. There are smaller black buttons, 2 holes, 4 holes. So many uses for these. So if you're going to be making one of these that have the black, the one I'm going to be sewing, or my elegant gold one, can't go wrong with black buttons. So $6 for the licorice basic buttons. These are sold $102.
Roxy, right now we do not make any rulers that are metric. I don't know if I can switch my software over to go to metric to get those lines. There might be a chance of it, but we do not have that.
Okay, that's something you can look into.
And going back to the late 80s, late 70s, early 80s, when the big push was to go metric, I did not retain enough of that to do my math backwards to get to metric. So
okay. Then I thought I'd bring a few more buttons. So we have these classic red. This is a tote. They're so you can tell the difference. There's, I don't know number-wise what is in the tote compared to the basic buttons, but there's a lot of buttons in here. Again, great big buttons, tiny buttons, 2 holes, 4 holes. So if you need some red buttons, like for the Valentine's one, this is the classic red button tote for $5, sold $103. And since we were doing a little bit of Valentine's this morning, I brought in, these are called love buttons. So they're the love button tote. There's big reds, big pinks, there's white in here, all kinds of red, pink, and white buttons for all of your Valentine's coming up. $5 for the love button tote, and that sold $104. Can't go wrong with buttons. All right.
And you probably said it, but just want to clarify, the fabric bundles there's going to be enough fabric in there to make 3 of these.
Yes, and I didn't say that. Okay. So when you get your fabric, you will have enough to make 3. So whether you want to just make trivets, whether you want to make 3 and do a table topper, enough fabric to do 3.
And shipping today.
$5 flat rate shipping, unless you spend $25 or more, and then your shipping is free. So a great time if you've been watching and maybe you were on the fence about something, and maybe you want the fabric and you want to get to that $25, you can go back into our comment sold store and anything that we still have available. Now's the time. All right, so I'm going to show you how super easy this is to do these little Hexi Trivets. When you get your fabric, you're going to cut them in 3 5-inch width of fabric sections. So that's how you get enough Hexis to do 3 of your trivets. So I've already cut some out, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to cut around these Hexis. So when you cut your section 5 inches width of fabric, your little 4.5-inch Hexi is going to fit on there just perfect. You're going to cut all the way around it. You do not have to worry about it being straight or anything like that. It isn't really going to make a difference. So when I do this, I am just going to cut around my edges. And if you had a rotating mat, this would be a great time to do it.
Vicky says you could make a yo-yo if you didn't want to use buttons.
Oh, yeah, and put that in the center. You know, you guys don't have to do it exactly like how I do it. You are so creative yourselves, so you can do it however you want. So there, since I had my width of fabric, I'm cutting 2 at a time, and I'll do the same with the other. So you're going to get the 2 fabrics. So I'm going to cut out my other one.
Good morning, Deanna. She said it's probably a quilter fly.
A quilter fly. Well, if I have my way, he's going to be a impaired fly pretty soon. If it was January, isn't the wives' tale that if you have a fly in your house in January, it means that good luck is coming your way? So if it was January, I would let him be, but it's not.
Good morning, Tina.
Okay. So you're cutting 2 at a time. You need 6 for each of your little trivets or mug rugs, whatever you want to be with that. There isn't anything other than the fabric. If you're making this into a trivet that you want to put a hot dish on, you could put some Insulbrite or some batting between. I'm just doing it without because I think it lays really nice. I'm going to put these right sides together. And then I'm going to sew all the way around, but I'm going to leave an opening for turning it right side out. So I'm going to start about right here, tie a knot, go all the way around, and then end and leave, you know, about an inch, 1.5 inches. They're not hard to turn right side out, and I will do that.
Good morning, Lana and Carolyn.
Good morning. Thank you for joining. So I am going to push my button and tie a knot. If your machine doesn't have push button, and then I'm going to also have it stop with my needle down. If your machine does not have a push button to tie a knot, you can just do a little bit of a back stitch. I stop about 1/4 inch and then just turn. Stop at 1/4 inch and turn.
Good morning, Alicia. And I am going to do our shameless plug here this morning that Amy is using a FOF sewing machine. This is a Creative Icon 2. So we have the full line of FOF products available. And she is also sewing on a Horn of America table and cabinet today. So if maybe you need to give somebody hints for Christmas, now would be a great time, and we can have these delivered before the holidays, and it'll be a Merry Christmas for you.
It would be a Merry Christmas to have one of these under your tree. All right, so I left a little bit of an opening for turning right side out. So I am just going to reach in there and start that to pull right side out. Since it's just 2 pieces of fabric, it's pretty easy to turn right side out. And then I didn't put a bodkin on this morning, but we do have them in our comment sold store. So I'm just gonna, whoops, well, okay, here I am. And I had forgotten you can trim the corners off to make your points a little bit. I'm just gonna be okay.
Good morning, Melissa. She's checking in from Cape Cod this morning.
Good morning. Hopefully you're having a wonderful Friday morning. I know it's still early, but we're starting the day off right. A little bit of thread I'm gonna just tuck in there. So now, once you have it turned right side out, that little area where you had to turn it really just folds in there really nice. I'm gonna give that a press. There we are. And now I'm gonna sew all the way around the edge at about 1/8 of an inch to close the hole that we used to turn it right side out, and then it just gives it a finished look. So really easy, you do it the same way. Now I have found, here's my little tip of the day. I start in the center of one of my longer ones. You don't want to start in a corner. You can, but then when I start in the center, as I come around, it's really easy just to match right up so it looks like a continuous line and no one knows where you started or stopped. Again, I'm just going to go to the corner with my needle down and turn. On this machine, since I don't raise and lower, it's got an automatic presser foot. When I stop in my needle down position, it lifts my presser foot enough so I can turn fabric. That is, I think, my favorite feature about more of these top of the line Boff machines, that it does that. Great for applique, great for projects like this.
Roxy says she's almost ready for a nap. She woke up at 10 last night.
Woke up at 10 and then you've been up all night long? You are ready for a nap.
Martha's checking in. She's having waffles for breakfast.
Delicious. All right, so I'm just trimming my threads.
And it's a small world because Bonnie and Lana are talking about Bonnie grew up just south of Lana, it sounds like, on a farm.
Isn't this a great way to meet new friends? I love this. We are all just quilting, sewing friends that are spending a Friday morning together. So there is your Hexi. That's all there is to it. So I have made, and I could have used that one, 6 of the Hexis. And I do the same thing with each of them. You turn them right side out, you press them, sew around them to close your hole, and now we have our Hexis. So now you can decide when you put them together, do you want, I think I like it like this where my black is going to show. So you decide what you want here and what you want to show here. So for my green and black, I think when I put them together, maybe I want my black to be my what comes out. So I'm going to put my black together. So I'm putting my green as my outside. So I'm putting my black together. And here's what you do. So here's your points. I'm going to sew from this point to this one. So see how we have our little corner that sticks out? So I'm going to sew right across there. If you want to put one of your rulers, draw a line with a marker, you certainly can. So let me get here in my drawer of goodies. My drawer of goodies. It's really just stuff that I put away. So you could draw a line, and then we're going to keep going. I'm going to show you how to do that. So because this is kind of black, I might not be able to see my black friction pen. So you might, if you're using the darker fabric, get a different color one. I can see my line. And I'm just going to take it to my machine and sew on that line.
And Diane and Susan are both joining us this morning. Brenda made breakfast tacos with cranberry orange muffins.
Ooh,
and hot tea.
Those muffins sound delicious. So see how that is opens up? And that's what's going to give you the look when you're done. So on my next one, when you put those together, you want to make sure, this gets kind of maybe confusing at the beginning, but you'll soon catch on. When you put your together, so here is my corner, I'm going to sew across. So here's my point, sew across. What I do is start on this end, and you notice it comes together over here where the other ones do. It's hard to explain. I'll sew it and then I'll show you. So again, if you wanted to, I am just going to draw a line from corner to corner with my friction pen.
Good morning, Little A. She's at a 3-day quilt retreat, so good morning.
How fun. You guys and your, we love it when we have people at our quilt retreats.
Alicia says a Christmas one looks like a poinsettia. Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Do we have any other fabric that might be close to that we could do another one in the...
In the red and white?
Uh-huh.
Yes, I think we do.
Because I think it may have just went on wait list. So
okay.
If you want that similar look to that, stay tuned. There will be something posted a little later.
All right, so you see how I was talking, when you open it up, you want to make sure that you're getting this curve in the center. And then those open up just like that. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to put my blacks together. Here is my center where they're all coming together. So that's where I'm going to put one of my points. Then when I line it up, I'm going to sew from here to here, so you have that in that mountain in the middle. I'm making up words as I go. So just put it under there. This one I didn't draw a line. I mean, if you think you can eye it going from corner to corner, or draw a line, whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay, so Colleen said she only got to watch part of the show last night, but we were talking about birds migrating, flying south. And she goes, I think they tweet each other on Twitter.
Oh, that's very good. I didn't even think about that.
So yes, their technology is there. So.
All right, and you're just going to keep going. So I'm going to put black together. I'm going to make sure where they're all coming together in the center is where I put my corner. And then you have your top that comes up. So I'm going to sew across there.
So the other Brenda says you need to specify which Brenda, because I don't cook.
All right, so now we've done 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to add on our last one, which will connect our circle. So you're going to do the same thing as we have been doing. The black sides together. Here's the center where they're all meeting. That's where I'm going to put my one corner. I'm going to line it up. sew across here. So you always have that mountain in the middle. Sometimes it gets kind of bulky in the center, so just go slow to start. Line it up again and sew across.
And Jane was kind of on that. She was thinking that they tweet each other, but wasn't sure the correct wording because she doesn't do Twitter, so.
Oh, sure. All right. So now we just need to sew them together to make the circle. So you already have your one side together. You already have the corner down here in the center where they're all meeting. And now you're just going to sew across, leaving that mountain in the middle. So I'm just going to start it. And then make sure I line it up good. And sew down to the other corner.
One thing that's really nice about FOF sewing machines, it does have the built-in walking foot. The IDT system is very nice, so it feeds your fabric both top and bottom evenly.
And now I'm just going to go press each of those petals open from the top.
And we certainly thank all of you who pass us along to your friends. So maybe they haven't seen or heard of us yet. We appreciate that when you help us out with that. So thank you one and all.
The more people that we can get to follow and watch us, the more things we can do. So I'm just giving it a nice press. Isn't that pretty? And then you just trim off your threads down on your corners. And then throw your threads on the floor and you can vacuum them up later.
I don't recommend that because those wrap around when your vacuum.
We have a little, what is he? His name is Steve. He's a little Roomba, and he travels the store in the night.
Steve McLean.
Steve McLean. Okay, so there it is. And if you want, you can put a button in the center. So I could do a black button, I could do a green button, I could do a pink button. Would be cute. So here are my jars of buttons. Isn't that fun? You know, I got these at the dollar store. Really great containers for buttons. And I can just put a button in the center.
I would put a bright button in the center.
Would you put a bright button?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want a green button or a pink button?
I don't care. The black blended in too much.
Okay. Well, these are, and I think we have them in our comment sold store. Do I have the right color green? Maybe. These are called citrus grab buttons. Do you like that on there?
Sure.
All right, we can do a green button. Just for you, Randy.
All right. Maggie says the little threads play havoc with the coasters on their chairs too.
Yes, they do.
And
All right.
Peg says you ought to see her kitchen floor this morning.
I'm going to sew on this green button. My machine sews on buttons so nice. I'm just going to center the button where I want it. I put my needle down in the hole, lower my presser foot, and then I use my hand wheel to make sure that the width is correct for the button. And then once I get it where I want it, I can sew that button on. I know a lot of you have machines that have this feature and you're scared to do this. Don't be scared, just try it slow. Slow your speed way down. Careful you don't get your finger.
Alicia says she has two Rumbas, Rosie and Oscar, and they get their rollers cleaned and have thread removed on a regular basis.
There we go. Isn't this pretty? I love this. So here's what I'm talking about. If you did 3, and you will have enough fabric for 3 in the fabric bundle. So if these were all the same, you could just, when you put them together, do a little zigzag stitch right as they come together. And isn't that a cute little table topper? So super cute. Whatever colorway you decide, whether you do it for Christmas, whether you do it for every day, whether you're doing it for a special occasion, Valentine's, how cute is that? And a quick and easy project to do. I love this. Add your own personality with a little button or whatever you want to put in the middle.
And Sharon says you can tape the button down so it stays put, so you don't have to have your fingers so close.
Yes, you can.
Brenda says, do you tell your machine you're doing a button?
Yes, I do. It actually has a button stitch on my machine. It is, on mine, it is with, I have, on this Creative Icon 2, I have 18 different buttonholes I can do, and then one that is strictly for sewing on a button. And then you just adjust the width to make it whatever you need to go through the holes of your button. And it doesn't want you to have a foot on, so you do it without a foot with this buttonhole stitch.
Let's see. Good.
And you don't have to do it as a table topper. You can also, so these would all be the same color, you can put them together like this and then just sew them together, and then you have this really cute little table runner too. So many ways that you can use these little coasters, mug rugs, or make a table topper or a table runner with them.
Good morning, Krista. She says you guys are the dynamic duo. Amy's such an excellent teacher.
Well, thank you very much. I guess I should have gone back to my roots a long time ago when I was doing demonstrations at the county fair and went on to the state fair for it. I must have been my destiny.
Good morning, Georgina. She says, hi, and Dennison getting ready to leave. Let's see, checking out anything else. If you are watching this later on after the live version, please
Why
contact
don't you
us.
just add on some more of this?
Okay.
And then what we're going to do is use the same red, and we'll get it's a little bit different white fabric, but it still has, it's not in your face, and it'll still look like the poinsettia. So we'll do the white and green background with the red.
Okay. So it's going to look like the poinsettia.
It's going to.
Okay.
But don't forget, we also have the other colorways. So the one I did this morning, so elegant, you can use this all year long, is the green. And are you, I gotta wait
How
for you.
many more reds can we do?
We could probably do another 20.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Are we to the fabric bundles?
Yes.
All right, so they're sold 100. This one is called green that I did this morning. Isn't this just super pretty? So you get about a 7/8 of a yard of the green and the black. $12.99, sold 100 green.
And before you go on, I'm just going to, let's see here. Marilyn's wondering how big are the pieces?
So
the fabric pieces?
What you're starting with is a 4.5 inch hexagon.
Alicia is wondering, do you stitch around the petals to stick them down?
You can if you want to, yes. I didn't, kind of gives it that 3D look, but if you want to stitch around each, you certainly can.
Carol said the green button was just the right touch.
It was, wasn't it? Randy's such a good help.
All right.
All right, then, so we talked about the red. We're going to add on a few more. It's going to have this same grunge red and a whitey. I am making up words this morning. White fabric with the green and red for that. So sold 100 red. We have the gold. So a very elegant look with the black and gold. Sold 100 gold. And then, you know, it's time to start thinking about spring. So here's some Valentine's. We're starting to get our Valentine's fabric in. A black with red and pink hearts and a white background with red and pink hearts. Super cute for Valentine's Day. $12.99, sold 100 hearts. And then we do have the Hexi template. So it's a 4.5 inch Hexi. It's going to come personalized with the first name on your account unless you state otherwise. So if you don't want a name, write no name when you go to checkout, or if you want something different than your first name, write that in on the notes. $8.99 for the Hexi, sold 101.
Marilyn, the finished part, what is
the finished one is, I can measure about 8 inches. 8 inches round.
All right. So
then I have
the Hexi is personalized. Yes.
Yep. And then I have the buttons. So the nice black buttons. There are great big ones, little tiny ones, 2 holes, 4 holes, any kind of button you would want. $6 for the licorice black basic buttons, sold 102. Then we have the red, classic red buttons. So maybe you want to do a red button for your Valentine's, or a red button would work on the poinsettia. $5 for the classic red button tote, sold 103. And then I brought out the Valentine's, the love button tote. So how about that? Super cute. You could do red, there's pink, there's white, bigs, smalls. $5 for the love button tote, sold 104.
Cheryl's wondering, how would you add the Insulbright?
So you could do it when you go to sew them together. You could put a Hexi of Insulbright on the inside, and then what you would have to do is layer it with your Insulbright Hexi, then your outside fabric face up, your background or back fabric down, so right sides together on your fabric, your Insulbright on your bottom layer, so all the way around, and then you're going to turn the whole thing right side out. It's going to be a little harder to turn because you're adding that extra bulk, but you could do that. Another way you could do it is after you get this sewn together, you could actually then cut the whole big Hexi out of Insulbright and then put another backing on. So you could just increase it like that.
All right.
Just remember, if you add anything to it, it's going to add bulk and it's going to make it a little harder to turn right side out and sew together. All right, any other questions?
I don't believe so. Cheryl says, or Alicia says, Cheryl, I think I would cut a 1/4 inch off of each side of the Hexi and put it between the Hexis.
So you're just making the Insulbright just a little bit smaller.
And yeah, so just add that in later after after you've turned them, you could put that in through that hole possibly.
Oh, yep, that would be another way you could do that.
Hi, Connie. All right.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me on a Friday morning for Breakfast with Amy. I so much appreciate it. You can find me back here on Monday with Randy for Happy Hour with the Healy's at 5 o'clock. And then don't forget Tuesday night for Treat Yourself Tuesday. I know we are working on some really great projects for Tuesday night. And $5 flat rate shipping unless you buy $25 or more, and then your shipping is free.
Next week is a
normal week.
What we call normal.
What we call normal. So have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you again on Monday.
And Alicia and Stacy both says have a great, wonderful weekend, and we echo that. So take care and have a good one, everybody.
Bye.